So, hearing a sound, what kind of cognition is this? It's a cognition, no? Cognition of sound. You hear. What do you hear? Sound. So it's a cognition. What kind of cognition is this? How do you hear? Correct. Why are you hesitating? Don't hesitate. So the process will be the same. Self gets connected with the mind. Mind gets connected with the sense organ of hearing. And this shrotra, the ears, will be connected with the sound. And then what will appear, what will result is knowledge of sound, perception of sound. So this cognition will be called perception. So like that, whatever, you can they prefer to sit behind. Huh? Come and sit here, why not? Anyway, so keep on reflecting always. This is the science of analyzing your own experience. Nyaya Shastra is a science. Now we are talking. No, I am talking to you for now several days. So the moment I utter something, you should be able to immediately understand it. That will tell you how much you have been transformed. So Shastra, I told you there are two aspects. A darshana has got two aspects, no? One, it is a Shastra. Shastra is science, a system of knowledge. And next part is darshana. Darshana is addressing the ultimate goal of life. Two parts. So, the first part, it engages in reflecting on the world in which we are living. So, our experiences. We see, we hear, we taste, we touch. We taste. So, if you have a good food today, you have taste of a food, it's a perception. What kind of perception is this? Taste you have. Taste. How do you know taste? Jiva, tongue. So, don't get lost. Keep on reflecting, analyzing your own experience. Never forget, this thing. Self plus mind plus sense organ plus object. Now this sense organ maybe eyes, huh? Ears, tongue, skin, nose. Is that so? This object also, any object in the world, and this will be common. So self plus mind plus ears, the object will be sound. Self plus mind plus nose, the object will be smell. You cannot reveal any other. Can rose reveal color? Can eyes reveal taste? No. So you can see how, that is why I'm calling them channel, no? So only smell can be known through this. By no other sense organ, smell can be known. So this kind of touch, tongue, taste, ears, sound, eyes, color. You can see. And this is common. Very common. So depending upon what the object is, you need the sense organ. But all are perception. All are perception. So because the sense organ are in direct contact with the world. It's a direct contact. Is okay? This object may be any of this for this. But color does not hang in independently. Color is situated where? In a substance. How do you know? List is given. Rupa, rasa, gandha, sparsha. You see? Rupa, rasa, gandha, sparsha, and then shabda. Shabda. This is how. So this requires always reflection, analysis, thinking. This will improve your thinking capacity. This is not needed only for knowing Nyaya Shastra or reasoning or debate, but it is needed for knowing anything and everything. This is the basic requirement for knowing the analysis. That capacity will be increased. That is what I am telling you, that you should concentrate on this. And such a small book. All right. So anytime I can ask you anything, you should be able to tell me. So now let us go to Anuman. So cold breeze is coming. Let us say, I say, cold breeze is coming. I am enjoying cold breeze. What kind of cognition is this? Perception. Which kind of perception? Touch. Cold breeze. Touch. Shita sparsha. Shita Sparsha. Hot loo is coming. Again, this touch. Oh, this is hard. Touch. Oh, soft. Touch. Like that. It is just your daily experience. Every moment experience you can understand, analyze through this Nyaya Shastra. Now you can see the vyapti of this subject. That is why Kautilya said, no? Upaya sarva karmana. Pradeepa sarva shastra. I think in the very beginning I had told you this. Pradeepa sarva shastrana. It is the lamp to know darkness. You cannot see, no? You need lamp. What is the lamp? This system is the lamp. So it acts as a lamp to see in darkness. Means when you have no knowledge, you are ignorant, you become knowledgeable by this. This is the advantage of this. All right. So even while playing with your smaller, brother, sister, smaller ones, while playing you can ask, you can analyze. When you're chit-chatting, why not chit-chat with this, like this? Instead of sending messages from here to there, nonsensical. Do something sensible. Learn something. So, in short, this system helps you to develop the capacity to analyze your own experience. Human experience, that's all. Perception. So we know the world indirectly. And what is the method? What is the process? Perception. Now we also, do we know everything directly? No. So we also know indirectly. But we know. So we can explain how do we know. And that is the next area that we are now going to do is Anumana. All right. So let us take a particular case first and then slowly. Suppose there is some common, let us say this is mountain. There is a mountain. And in the mountain, there is what you are seeing is smoke. This is what you are seeing with your eyes. What kind of cognition is this? Still we are perceiving, Up to this we are perceiving only. So I am looking at the mountain. So self, mind, eyes, mountain. Correct? Again, self, mind, smoke. Looking at the smoke. But after looking at the smoke, we say there is fire on the mountain. Now, why have I made it straight and why jig, jig, jig?
Because mountain and smoke were directly perceived by us and fire was predicted that there may be fire.
Yeah. So there is a doubt. Okay. It is not yet completely clear, but there is a doubt. Why there is a doubt that there must be fire? There has to be fire.
Because there will be smoke.
Correct. So because this cannot be without this. Without fire, there cannot be smoke.
Without smoke, there can't be fire.
Now suppose you have seen the blacksmith.
Yes. Yes.
They ignite fire and then put iron ball, let us say ball, and then make it red. Any smoke there? So without smoke, fire is there?
I perceive in different way.
So the fact is different. That without this cannot be there. This also I have taught you. So when you say that in the presence of X there is presence of Y, in the absence of X there is absence of Y, if this is true, therefore X is the cause of Y. Isn't it so? In the presence of fire, there is presence of smoke. In the absence of fire, there will not be smoke, and therefore fire is the cause of smoke. So fire produces smoke. So how can there be smoke without fire? Are you clear? This is what we are calling a relationship. So there is a relationship between fire and smoke. And that relationship, when it is a cause and it is an effect, if the fire is the cause and smoke is the effect, the relationship between X and Y can be called cause and effect relationship. So the effect cannot be without cause, that's all, as simple as this. An effect cannot be without cause, but effect is seen. I see the smoke, and therefore I will conclude that there is fire on the mountain. This is for your explanation, I have told you. But without uttering language, if you are just looking at the mountain, mentally you will draw this conclusion. Just imagine. You will look at the mountain of smoke. There is fire. Now you analyze how, now is the fire in contact with your eyes? No. Could you know fire or not? Indirectly. So as I know the world directly, I can also know the world indirectly. So the direct process is perception, pratyaksha, and indirect process is anumana. So the process by which I come to know fire here, that process is called anumana. All right? Yes.
So just smoke can be there because of other reasons also. But without smoke there can't be fire, right? Like if fire is there, smoke will be there.
I gave you an example, then why are you asking this question?
But
the fire, the rod is red, is there no fire? But there is no smoke. So without smoke, fire is there.
Even gas cylinder.
Smoke can also be like that.
That's true. It can be in kitchen, for example. In kitchen, in many other places. Say in the winter season, in the villages, early morning, you get up and you bring woods, this and that, and sit around. So there is fire, there is smoke together. But fire is first or the smoke is first?
Fire is first.
So what is the cause? Fire is the cause, and cause must be earlier, no? All the definitions are given to you. You cannot say these questions are out of the syllabus, sir. Clear? Now let us know, how did this happen? Without seeing the fire, I came to know fire. Just by knowing smoke. Smoke is not fire. So I knew something else directly, and I came to know something else. If I know tree, can I conclude there is fire on the mountain? Why not?
Because there is a relationship, cause and effect relationship between tree and.
That's all. This is what I am trying to do. So, I can know something on the basis of something else, knowledge of something else, provided there is a relationship between the two. And that relationship should be invariable relationship. Slowly, terms you should know. That relationship is called invariable relationship. So, smoke and fire this relationship, this locus, wherever you have seen, it's a kitchen. This relationship is invariable. Invariable means it does not vary. It is not the case that in one kitchen smoke and fire are together and in another kitchen there is not. So, in a simple language, what we can say is that this is the case that wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Now suppose a boy who does not know smoke and does not know fire, will he be able to conclude that there is fire on the mountain? No. So one who has repeated experience, of smoke and fire being together Take from this example. Two friends always together. Two friends are, whenever you see, they are together. Whenever you see, they are together. And it so happens that one day only one is seen, the other is not seen. Will you not be reminded of the other? Yes. Why it happens? Because of this invariable relationship. So wherever there is X, there is Y. Wherever there is no X, there is no Y. And so if this kind of relationship you have, this is your experience. So wherever there is smoke, there is fire, is everybody's experience. There is no single exception, remember. If there is a single exception, then there is no causal relationship between X and Y. If there is only smoke independently of fire, means fire is not the cause of smoke. So, all smokes, you will enjoy like anything, if you go to find out the answer of this question. Psychological, journey now we are doing. We want to know how it happened that I could know fire from smoke. I am searching that. Then I looked back, okay, I have seen kitchen. In the kitchen I saw smoke and fire together. I saw wherever I went there is a kitchen in the village and then there is smoke and fire together. In other places also whenever the smoke emerges there is a fire. So there is smoke, there is fire. And I have not come across till now a case where there is smoke without fire. And after that I look at the mountain. No, this is already my experience. So from my experience, what have I gathered? Knowledge of relationship. This relationship. So one who has the knowledge of relationship between smoke and fire, and out of the two, when one sees only one, smoke, then he comes to know the other. If no such relationship is experienced or known, then this process will not work. I cannot infer. So now the knowledge of fire will not be called pratyaksha, no? It will be called anumiti. Process is anumana and the result is anumiti. So the inferential cognition is caused by a process which is different from the process of perception. Isn't it so? This process is not the process of perception. Only the process of perception is only with reference to smoke, is perceived. But thereafter what has happened is not the process of perception. And therefore we will have to posit another process of knowing, and that is indirectly knowing. That indirectly knowing process is called anumana. Many things are there. It's a huge whole, this room will be full with the literature on this inference, Anumana, in Sanskrit. So much. Because very you see, perception has got a limited scope, no? The world is so vast. Something is gross, something is minute. Something is near, something is very far. So if I have to know all that, perception is not going to help directly to know everything in this world. But we know. So indirect way of knowing also is a valid way of knowing. Now suppose I was hungry and I am in a jungle. I have rice, I have a pot, everything I have, but fire I do not have. I want to cook. Oh, immediately I looked at, oh, you see, the smoke is coming out. Then there has to be fire. I went there, I got fire. So the knowledge of fire indirectly also is a valid knowledge or not?
Yes.
When I see the fire with my eyes is a valid knowledge of fire. But when I know fire, by knowing smoke, is also a valid knowledge of fire. Therefore, the logicians say that not only one process of knowing is valid, but other processes of knowing also can be equally valid. So as direct process is valid, so also indirect process can be valid. Provided, but there is no guarantee. Provided you have captured the invariable relationship between smoke and fire. Now, many times, in Pune, you find that in the evening there is a very cold breeze, all of a sudden. Then immediately, it must have rained somewhere. You see? Very often happens that you have in the evening you start getting cool breeze. Perception. And that Sita Sparsha is the perception of Sita Sparsha, and that is not possible without water. So we say there must have rained somewhere nearby on some mountain. It must have rained, and the breeze is coming from that side, therefore the breeze is cool. Inference. So don't think only inference is only smoke and fire. Anything and everything which you know indirectly through this process is indirect way of knowing, that is inferential process of knowing, and inferential cognition is the result. Is okay? So certain terms now we will be introducing. So when you say Parvata, on Parvata you see Dhuma, and from the knowledge of Dhuma you have knowledge of Vanni. Vanni means fire. This is called paksha. I am introducing the terms now slowly. Paksha. This is called hetu. And this is called sadhya. And the relationship between Dhuma and Vani this relationship is called vyapti. Vyapti. This is in now English terms will be, this hetu is called, you can call it a reason, ground, or a reason. The Latin term for this is called probans. Probans is a Latin form. In Western tradition, Aristotelian logic had this, probans. Sadhya is what is established. What is established. What is to be established, you can also say. What is to be established. Sadhya. That we want to prove. To be established or proved. You can also say mark for hetu. So in Sanskrit also you have hetu, then you have linga. Same meaning. Linga. Linga is mark. Chinna. Chinna. So you have a mark. Smoke. And that will take you to the knowledge of fire. So knowledge of smoke will take you to knowledge of fire. So that is called hetu. That is called chinna. That is called linga. In English you will say ground. On what ground do you say there is fire on the mountain? Because there is smoke on the mountain. So ground. What is the reason that you are saying that there is fire on the mountain? Because there is smoke on the mountain. Reason. What made you think there is fire on the mountain? Smoke, mark. You can see? So you can use these terms. as a ground or reason or, all right? Now imagine that you, now all the story that I have narrated before should be now brought. You have an experience of this relationship. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. And after that you are looking at the mountain. Are you uttering any sentence? No. You are just looking. But the process is going on inside. The psychological process is going on. And this is help. This is the help provided. So there is a general rule that when two things are related, when A and B are related, A and B are related. So there is a relationship between A and B. Always A with B. B with A with B, B with A. And not a single case where there is only A. In reality, I mean, this kind of relationship. But sometimes it so happens that I see only A. I do not see B. Then B is remembered. So after knowing A, B is remembered. Why it is remembered? Because there is a relationship, invariable relationship between A and B. So then we can have a generalization now that if A and B are invariably related and out of the two only one is known directly, the other is remembered. This is a psychological rule. That association, the rule of association. So whenever you have A related to B, always you have an experience. That experience has generated the knowledge of relationship between A and B. And out of this A and B, only A is known. Then B will be remembered. एक संबंधी ज्ञानम अपर संबंधी स्मारकम भवति. This is what is in Sanskrit. Yeah. So the relation, this is sambandha. This is R is sambandha, relation, and A is sambandhin, with which it is related, of which it is a relation. B also is a sambandhin. So sambandha. And this is sambandhin. One. And sambandhin two. So when there are two relata, relatum, plural, relata, in Latin. Okay? So when there are two relata related to one relationship, out of the two, one relatum is seen, then other will be remembered. This is a rule and rule of association. This is how you remember the other one. So I have captured this relationship between smoke and fire through my experience. Yes. One is seen, other is remembered. But in what way they are remembered? As a part of relation. So because you remember the relationship, you remember this. So Vyapti Smarana takes place. So now we will elaborate a little more this psychological process. Here we are not uttering, we are just psychologically we are drawing conclusion, convincing. So we say Prathama Linga Darshana. Dvitiya Linga Darshana. Okay? Linga Darshana. And then Vyapti Smarana. Now, Prathama Linga Darshana where? In the kitchen or in your experience world, you have seen Linga, Dhuma. And then you are seeing Dvitiya on the mountain. Then Vyapti is remembered. And then you look at that smoke now. How is this a smoke? The smoke is related invariably with fire. So such a smoke is on the then Paramarsha. And then Anuviti. This is the psychological journey to come to the conclusion that there is fire on the mountain without uttering a word. You yourself are doing. Psychologically you have done this. This is also called, this Paramarsha is also called Tritiya Linga Darshan. So Prathama Linga Darshana where? In the kitchen. Dvitiya Linga Darshana where? On the mountain. Tritiya, in the third step what is happening? You remembering the invariable relationship. Vyapti Smarana. And then Tritiya Linga Darshana. Again you are looking back to the smoke. This smoke is not ordinary smoke. This smoke is such a smoke which is invariably related to fire. And such a smoke is on the mountain. Therefore, there is fire on the mountain. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is your journey, psychological journey, to arrive at the conclusion that there is fire on the mountain. This process is not the process of perception, but it requires perception. Because darshana, when I say perception, darshana again perception. Smarana, mental perception through the mind. Paramarsha, perception. This is not perception. Conclusion, the result is not perception. So this is perception. This is also so perception process is required to help the process of inference. So pratyaksha is needed for operation of inferential process. And therefore we spend so much time on doing that. So though our aim was to go to inference, reason and debate, that is our topic. But we did so many things here and there, running here, running there. Now you can realize why we did that. This process is process of inference. In this process, the process of perception is needed or not? Needed. So pratyaksha pramana is required for anumana pramana. And you will see it is required for other pramanas also. But that we will not be doing in this course. So this is perception. So so let us say if there is a process, means step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. This is how you have come to the conclusion. This is called Swarthanumana. Swartha Anumana. Swartha Anumana means to convince yourself. Swa means own, for the sake of yourself, without uttering any sentence. Psychologically, you have concluded that there is fire on the mountain. Now, since that day, I'm thinking that what could be your problem that you start feeling sleepy? Is it too much of eating or what? What happened? Or get tired or something. Or habit of sleeping during day. What is the because I am a logician, no? I keep on thinking, why is it happening? Could not sleep properly last night. You could sleep, but still you are feeling sleepy. You see, we were also students now. So in our days, suppose I want to learn Nyaya Shastra. It was not so easily to be learned. No. Now we have been so lucky. Someone comes and tells, we used to search. And the teacher will tell, come at 5 early morning at 5 o'clock. You should be in front of me at 5 o'clock. We used to be so happy that we got a teacher who will be teaching me something like this. No matter. We used to say, even if you call 4 o'clock, we will come to you. And again, we'll do the whole day school. You see, I'm from West Bengal. So, my home is in Bengal, at the bank of a river. So, my father will get me up. Okay, Udo, take bath. Go and have a dip into the river. And there used to be an ashram called Kumar Brahmacharya Ashram, another very near my home. So a different kind of dinacharya lifestyle. So he used to say that everybody, the boys in the locality must come to the temple in the ashram and perform morning prayer. Okay? So we'll go and take bath and then attend that prayer. And then that Swamiji of that ashram used to say, nobody will return home after taking prasada in the morning. So you will be coming only to take prasada and then go, will not do. So we take prasada and sit before me. For 3 hours he will teach us. 3 hours he will teach us. And what he used to teach, you know? He used to teach English, mathematics, and Sanskrit. These 3 things he used to teach. And then it was 9 by 9. And mother is ready with food. So we'll run home, take food and go at 10 o'clock to the school. Whole day we are reading. There was one teacher like that. He will say that, what are you going to do after the class? Oh, we want to play. Well, you come and play in my home. So he will take me there to his home. We have children, joint family, many children together. So we will go and play. And he will say, then what? I will not go home. No, we're hungry, take food there. So he used to give us food. He used to play playground. And children, they will play. And then exactly at 6 o'clock, again he will sit and sit in front of me. And 9 o'clock, my father will come to take me back home. With a lantern, there was no electricity, no fan, nothing. And he will take me home 9 o'clock. You see the program for the whole day. This is how we grew. So even in that, suppose some teacher tells me we have to come at 5 o'clock, some Nyaya Shastra teacher, then we will take permission from that Swamiji and ask him, I'll go there and then today I will not be with you. Like that. So you can call it madness, does not matter. The madness was only to know something, that's all. Which was not easily available. And whatever condition is put, okay, ready to fulfill. So when I see you all in this state, inside I laugh. How the time had changed in this 60 years. Now I am 71 plus. So this 60, 65 years, how much change has taken place. I have to tell you, listen to me. I have to tell you, come and attend the class. You will not come to me, I will come to you. Is it not a luxury? You are living a luxurious life to know something. And on foot we were doing everything. This is the change of the time. Kalaha. Kalaya tasmai namaha. I can only tell it. Okay? So I am not discouraging you. What I am just telling you that these opportunities are not frequently available. I am telling them to learn from me, and from next year they should do. How long should I come? Keep on coming. I am reviewing the whole world. from this corner to that corner of the world, and asking them, whatever little I know, learn it and pass it on to the next generation. So I wanted to know, why are you sleeping? Why do you feel sleepy? This is also a topic for research, for you. You give me answer after reflecting. So this is called Swarthanumana. Swarthanumana is the process of knowing something to convince yourself. To convince yourself. Now a lawyer has to fight for you. He takes your case. He studies. He is not uttering anything, he is studying. What is he doing? He is going through this process. You are studying. What are you doing? Are you seeing everything? You are just studying. You are concluding something from there. How do you conclude? This is how you conclude. Swarthanumana. Is okay? So, Anumana is of two types. One is Swarthanumana and the other, okay, I will make it close. So, Anumana, Swartha, for yourself, to convince yourself, and Parartha, to convince others. So, this is the process of Swartha. This much we have followed. So, whenever you will be reading a book and you are concluding, from somewhere you started and somewhere we ended. So, there is a starting point and there is a terminal point. So, process began here, terminated here. The terminating point knowledge is called Anumiti and the process is called Anumana. So, Atma, etc., up to perception of something, the process of perception. In the same way, the process of Anumiti is this. This you do for some time yourself, psychologically you do, to convince yourself, okay, oh, so this is what it is. Oh, this is where because you have concluded that there is fire on the mountain without uttering a word. So you started from here, you came to this, came to this, came to this, came to this. So the entire process, and in this process you needed perception, help of perception. So this is perception, this is perception, this is perception, this is perception, but this is inference, inferential cognition. All right? Pause for some time.